Hello everyone, this is Davidnator12 here, and welcome to another video. Sorry I haven't been posting recently, I've been too busy with finals. In this video, I will be talking about how JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is literal peak fiction. Peak fiction, according to Google, is a term to describe a piece of media that has little to no flaws and is a perfect story throughout. However, I believe JoJo's Bizarre Adventure meets this criteria of peak fiction for the exact opposite reason of its definition. Welcome to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is literal peak fiction. To be honest, with the anime community, I think we all understand that peak fiction doesn't truly exist. If it did exist, all of humanity would unanimously agree on a piece of fiction being literal peak fiction. I also noticed that when talking about peak fiction, everyone is usually referring to Japanese fictional media. I don't really hear anybody yelling at me that War and Peace or The Space Odyssey is peak fiction. However, when I am talking about how JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is literal peak fiction, I mean it is literally the peak of all fiction. Since each opinion is subjective, we humans will never agree with this opinion. Please let me know what you think is literal peak fiction in the comment section below. Let us continue with the video. To detail JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, we must first talk about the genius writer behind it. Toshiyuki Araki, or better known as Hirohiko Araki, is a very bizarre man himself. From food, from music, and to ding-dong ditching his neighbors, he is a very interesting man. Before he wrote JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Araki created other works called Poker Under Arms and Gorgeous Irene. These two pieces of media would be a great stepping stone for Araki later in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. From card games to female leads, it all came back later in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in one way or another, showing us that Araki never gives up implementing his ideas. The biggest stepping stone for Araki was his manga titled Bao. Here, he started experimenting with character development, poses, and even his gore that he is known for in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Bao even appears in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R as a guest character, and the story even got an OVA movie. Go check it out, it's pretty good. I believe we will get a remake of this OVA probably after JoJo's Bizarre Adventure's anime is completed. With his origins of wanting to become a mangaka as a child, it would all combine in his efforts in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. After going to a Denny's and England with his editor, it was time to begin writing the glorious hit, the literal peak fiction that is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. From combining Fist of the North Star, Western music, horror movies, Dragon Ball, history itself, Denny's, ancient artifacts, in a giant melting pot, what we got out of it was Phantom Blood, the beginning of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now let me ask you an important question about Phantom Blood. Did you think it was basic? Did you think it was kind of normal compared to later parts of JoJo's? If you answered yes, you probably have already fallen into Araki's trap. If you answered no, you're probably a longtime JoJo fan, and I commend you. When comparing Araki's previous works to Phantom Blood, isn't it strange that the main character, the setting, and even concepts seem a bit bleaker and not that glamorous? Now, why would Araki go from Gorgeous Irene, Shock BT, Poker Under Arms, and Bao to a bleaker type of story with greater risk in the industry? You have to understand, it was not common to have a non-Japanese main character set not in Japan back then, but even in present time. I believe Araki wanted a story he could build off of. It was a high-risk, high-reward kind of thing that paid off in pure gold. I believe that Phantom Blood was exactly what Araki intended it to be from the very beginning. This risk not only allowed him to write all the way to part 3, where he was initially going to stop, but was also able to continue to write JoJo's Bizarre Adventure until present day. As literally everyone mentions about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is that we see the improvement of Araki's story writing, art, characters, and even frame composition. However, I think the thing everyone fails to mention is that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure actually details Araki's life. According to Araki, he follows the golden path for his manga. The idea that something must be created as it was willed. You know, kind of like the Bible, I would say. Without Araki's life experiences with his wife, we probably wouldn't have gotten the existence of yanderes, since Yukako in part 4 is the earliest example of one in manga. Without Araki's depression during part 5, we never saw Fugo becoming an enemy to the main group. He just left the group. Without Araki's satisfaction of writing up to part 6 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, we would have never have gotten part 7, 8, or 9 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a celebration of humanity. Just like humanity, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure changes, improves, becomes more complicated, and at the center of it all is love, music, and family. Family, 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 family. Have you ever asked yourself why JoJo's Bizarre Adventure focuses on one specific family? It's because family is what brings all of humanity together. We all have family either by blood or relation that we want to protect and be with. Humanity leaves legacies and sometimes curses. The thing that binds JoJo's Bizarre Adventure together is family, but also love. I talked about music. Since the beginning, Araki has also included the things he loves into his works so well now that without them, the story wouldn't feel like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's because I believe Hirohiko Araki has reached the peak of Expressionism. From poses, colors, concepts, art, Araki has done it all at such a high level, it allowed him to be one of the only mangakas to be featured at the Louvre. You know, the place where the Mona Lisa lives and other famous paintings and art live as well. From Led Zeppelin to Dua Lipa, we got it all. Another great aspect of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is that Araki has included the ideas of religion and the supernatural. Araki has included religious ideas from all over the world and even the supernatural in his story. We can see that Araki has also been inspired by certain religious ideas or concepts as well. From mentions or appearances of holy personas in the story were included not for religious purposes or reasons, but to enhance the story and the world building of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is the epitome of all humanity in our history. Another aspect of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is how Araki implements character development and character deaths, or deaths in general. I have experienced many stories where deaths are treated as abrupt, unnecessary, a perfect conclusion to a story, not done justice, or even an ending perfectly suited for a character. However, when thinking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it is the only story where I personally feel like each character death doesn't focus on the death itself of a character, but to celebrate the character's life in said story. I think that the yellow mist was a perfect effect Araki could have achieved to tie together the final moments of a character. Plus, they sometimes don't come back. When thinking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I think about how it literally has everything in a perfect proportion. There are serious moments, funny moments, sad moments, some gross moments, some cool moments, and way other moments. I know people hold other Japanese media higher, like Berserk, One Piece, Full Metal Alchemist, and more. Even Western media like How to Kill a Mockingbird or The Great Gatsby and others. I was going to make a video of how Berserk was literally peak fiction, but we all know it will sadly never truly be finished. Plus, I haven't read it yet. Everyone has their own opinion, but JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a series unlike any other. It has won several awards and has been praised worldwide. Even though it probably won't go mainstream like One Piece, I know one thing is for certain. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is literally peak fiction.
You're too slow!
What I mentioned about you, Watson.
We are Venom.